Now, page 4, putting Planned Parenthood out of business. Since the Republicans in Congress don't have the backbone to defund Planned Parenthood, meaning we the people still give that baby-killing operation $500 million every year, there's a more decisive effort at the state level to rid this republic of abortion. Little by little, red state by red state, laws are being put on the books that are eating away at the lawful ability to kill babies in the womb. And a couple of these laws are dual-purposed. One, to protect life, of course, but two, to pick a legal fight with Roe versus Wade. These heartbeat laws in Kentucky and Mississippi and Tennessee and Iowa could trigger a Supreme Court showdown over abortion. But in Alabama, there is an attempt to go even further in the direction of life and the Supreme Court. Legislation that would criminalize abortion at any stage, unless the mother's health is in jeopardy. And that should do it, right? The Alabama bill, if it becomes law, would probably pick the fight that pro-lifers have been preparing for many, many decades. And if the constitutional majority on the Supreme Court stays true to its foundational roots, then abortion, and Planned Parenthood along with it, would be set on a course to, one day soon, be out of business. In the meantime, pro-abortion radicals like New Hampshire Senator Jeanne Shaheen are protecting Roe versus Wade and its anti-liberty co-conspirator, Obamacare.
It's been nearly 9 years since the Affordable Care Act was signed into law.
Stop tape. Has it been that long? Seems like just yesterday that Barack Obama was destroying liberty and freedom and the healthcare system in this country. 9 years of hell for Americans who used to have health care plans like Cadillac health care plans, but no longer allowed to have those because they're too good. And the Obama administration said you can't have a really good health care plan, apparently. You have to do a one-size-fits-all. You have to do what we say. 9 years of deductibles in the neighborhood of what? $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a year? That's not insurance. It's something else. I don't know what it is, but it's not insurance if your deductible is $7,000 a year. But here's the bottom line, and we have to remember this, that Obamacare is the precursor for what Bernie Sanders and the rest of these yahoos on the Democrat side are talking about right now. It is laying the foundation for single payer, or as Bernie Sanders likes to call it, Medicare for all. That's what Obamacare is all about. And when Barack Obama hits the road now, and he scolds these Democrat candidates and these other members of the Democrat Party like Omar or Ocasio-Cortez, who are going pedal to the metal with things like the New Deal, the Green New Deal. He's scolding them for biting off too much at one time. Barack Obama did something very, very well, and that was the incremental attack on this republic. Instead, we've got people in the Democrat Party who are going headlong, pedal to the metal right now, and Obama knows it's incremental, and that's what Obamacare is all about. He knew if he could just get it on the books, there's a decent chance that it will never be removed from the books, and if it's never removed from the books, then it is a platform, a building point for the holy grail in terms of health care for the Democrat Party, and that is single payer. And we're well on our way toward that direction, unfortunately. Roll tape.
Thanks to this landmark legislation, we've cut the uninsured share of the population by almost half.
Stop tape. Stop tape. Stop tape. So we went through all this upheaval. The uninsured, when Barack Obama was framing this debate, was 30 million, so he said. We knew that was a phony number, right? It wasn't really 30 million. In other words, even if that number was true, we stipulate that number is true, that means the vast majority, somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 million Americans, had health care insurance back then in 2010 when he was framing this debate. 30 million was the number he threw out there. But we know when we picked apart that number of 30 million that actually only about 10 million were people without health care coverage. Another 10 million were people who were in transition. And that is, they didn't have health insurance at that moment in time because they were going from one health insurance carrier to the other. So that was a phony 10 million. And then the other 10 million, we estimate, were illegals who don't count. At least they're not supposed to count, except in the census. We want to know about the illegal immigrants. So the bottom line is, when we step back and look at the big picture, all this money spent all this angst. And she says that we've covered half the 30 million, so we've covered another 10, 15 million people. All that for them?
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.